So I did something crazy last week, and it's Jim Sally's fault.
Oh.
I applied for my first TEDx talk. And after I gave my speech last month, Jim wrote me this really sweet little note and told me that I was TEDx ready. And so I've been looking at this every day in my office, and I really appreciate that, Jim. So as I was going over to the TEDx website, I had all these glossy images in my head of me standing on stage and inspiring thousands, and then afterwards all these people coming up to me and wanting to hire me as their life coach, which would cause me to be booked out for months, and I'd have to raise my prices then, and then my book would become a New York Times bestseller, and I'd probably get a reality TV show deal, and I just want to be a spiritual celebrity. But what actually happened as I was filling out the application is my inner critic really started to roar and tell me all these mean things. And basically was telling me, Krista, you're not ready for this. You're not smart enough to give a TEDx talk. You don't have enough professional titles behind your last name. You're probably not going to even get this, so why bother? So lots of crazy stuff going on there. But I decided to do it anyways and hit the big scary submit button. You see, I made a promise to myself a long time ago that I was put on this earth to be a leader and to inspire millions. But what I'm really finding out, that the real path to leadership is so scary, and no one talks about that part. So I went on the Pathways website and I took the quiz to find out what type of leader I am. It said I was a democratic leader, and then there was a bunch of boring bullet points after that. And then I was like, I don't want to talk about those, so I'm going to come up with my own definition of what I think, what does it mean for me to be a leader? And I came up with the definition, being the first to carve out a path so that way you can help others successfully get there as well. Now, even though it's admirable and envious to be the first to do something, no one really talks about the behind the scenes of what it actually takes to get there. And there's been a lot of public figures that are successful leaders that have had really epic setbacks. So for example, one of those being J.K. Rowling. Before she wrote the Harry Potter series, she was depressed, she was a single mom, she was on welfare, but then within 5 years of writing those series, became one of the richest women in the world. And there's Beethoven. When he was a little boy, all his teachers and his parents told him that he was incredibly stupid and incompetent on the violin. And as we all know, he's one of the most greatest musicians and composers of all time. And then there's Van Gogh. He actually only sold one painting during his lifetime, and it was to a friend for a very small amount of money. And even though he wasn't successful while he was alive, now his paintings sell for millions all over the world. So when you guys hear this, how does it make you feel? For me, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm not so alone and like I can actually do this. And if I fail, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to succeed. Now, I'm not immune to failure. At the age of 22, I accidentally got pregnant, and I decided that I wasn't ready to become a mom at that time. I feel like I let myself down because I told myself I would never let something like that happen. And then in 2016, I lost my nursing job. I feel like I let my parents down because they paid for my nursing education. And then, let's see, what was my most recent failure? Hold on a second. Let me think about it. Yes, okay, now I remember. At age 30, this is the biggest one. At age 30, I ended up getting divorced, and the relationship between my husband and I became toxic. And we decided that we could no longer be together, and I feel like that we let down both of our families who believed so much in our relationship. So failures don't define me, I know that. And they're actually leading to my ultimate purpose and my story on this earth. And it's actually how I get hired. When I own my story, it gives women permission to reach out to me and hire me as their life coach, so that way I can help them navigate their unexpected life journeys as well. And in addition, this is going to be the content of my upcoming book, Beyond the White Picket Fence. So I know that I was truly meant to go through these experiences first. And as I await the news, if I get selected for the next round of the TEDx interviews, and even if I get a no, I know that a no is not forever, as long as I don't give up on myself and my big dream. So if anyone here can relate tonight to my story and also feels called to be a leader, I say go for it. This world needs more fearless and courageous leaders that are going to lead from a place of love. But just so you know, you're going to have an intimate relationship with fear and rejection, but while still being 100% committed to your success. So it's okay to fail, and failing does not mean that you will not be a successful leader.
And now, let's take a minute or half a minute to fill out some comments.